In this segment, Stephanie Miller welcomes Carl Frisch as the two discuss if people are dismissing Trump today the same way they did back in 2016. Here's Stephanie.
Would you like to be the human form of this 75-page fact-checking Donald Trump CNN town hall? Would you like to just pick anything? Anything.
It was 13 pages.
It reminded me of how pleasant the last couple of years have been without him doing this every single day on television.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So there's that. I mean, Trump calls them witch hunts. Santos calls them witch hunts. What's crazy about that is that historically speaking, if there was any party that would have been like gung-ho for a witch hunt, it'd be the Republican Party. I mean, they basically used the Crucible like it's erotic fan fiction.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. You're right, Carl. It is like a 2016 acid flashback, but like, as I said, with quicksand and piranhas, because it just, oh my God, the flapping Garfield lips, just the whole, but oh my God, all the same lies. I mean, you know, I guess we knew they were going to be all the same lies over and over and over, but this time with a cheering bunch of yahoos, right? The CNN allowed. This was not a town hall, it was a rally.
He hosted his rally. And, you know, we thought at the end of 2020, when he left office in 2021, that the 11 billion lies that he made as a candidate for president and then as a president, you know, that was probably the high water mark. But I think we've learned that there is never going to be a high water mark when it comes to this man's lies. They will continue to mount up, and the media will continue to flail in responding to them. He'll also continue to put his foot in his mouth, putting himself in legal jeopardy. I would not be surprised if E. Jean Carroll has other lawsuits to file based on this interview.
Yeah, I just said that, Carl, in the first segment. I'm like, if I were her, I'd sue him again. I mean, it's like, this is just, it's extraordinary that we keep, like, I don't know, I guess surprise isn't the word, because we're not surprised. It's just, but the fact that he continually just goes into a rake factory every time he goes on TV legally. We were saying Ellie Honig was talking about January 6th, that Jack Smith should totally use this admission. I don't know, I don't watch, God, I couldn't have withstood the whole thing, but you know, the admission that basically he sent them, you know what I mean, whatever it is he said last night, according to experts, is legally admissible, don't you think?
Yeah, anything he says is legally admissible. I mean, we've seen, you know, during the trial they showed him you know, audio and read back his quotes to him. So I think every time he talks in public about any of this stuff, he is even deeper. And I think the media, you know, when we say we're not surprised, the media shouldn't be surprised either. They need to come ready for all of the lies. Mm-hmm. Trump went on CNN because he was under the impression that he would be able to go on a network just like he does to Fox News and Newsmax and get very little challenge. And that's partially what he got. The traditional media, your CNNs, MSNBCs, NBC, CBS, PBS, etc., they need to hold themselves to a higher standard than those other outlets. And Trump will never sit for an interview at an outlet that holds those high standards. So they should wear that as a badge of honor rather than thinking, what am I doing wrong that I can't get this buffoon on my air?
Yeah. Good God, how many times did I think of Eric Boehlert last night? I'm like, oh God, I just
all week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to even form questions, Carl, because I don't. I think, like we say, we all expected the number of lies, but as we were saying, poor Caitlin Collins is put in a terrible position. I mean, she tried to, but you put her in it was like the lion's den. They're all booing her and cheering him. I mean, what's happened? I don't even know how to put it. Our humanity, Carl. Like, people in that audience, weren't any of their wives, sisters, girlfriends, anybody sexually assaulted? They're laughing at the fact that he was just convicted of that, and laughing at jokes. I mean, it's just, do they not have women they love? Huh?
This is a party that is currently fighting to make sure that 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds have to carry their their rapist child. So I don't think that they have a human approach to these issues. Period. They don't.
Yeah. But I guess, and the other thing, for you as a political strategist, just the fact that he's allowed to completely misrepresent his record and Biden's record, I don't even want to say, like, the numbers, almost everything. Again, how many pages is this, Travis? I couldn't
13 pages.
I couldn't have possibly gone through this entire thing, but it's just wildly. The numbers are all wrong. He just pulls numbers out of his right. Like I think we've given 36 billion to Ukraine. He said 171 billion and counting. Like he just pulls numbers out of his. He said, "What did he? Oh, what's the other thing he said, Travis? We don't even have any ammunition for ourselves anymore. We gave it all to Ukraine." He said, "We." But I mean, the percentage of people, I guess, that believes what he. My girlfriend was saying, it's just this is the thing with good liars. He says it with so much conviction and like he knows that there's a percentage of idiots like in that audience that go, yay, yay.
It's not about like he could literally say anything, and the people in that audience pick it up. And so we have to remember that him being front and center for the Republicans is the best thing Republicans can do for us. But we also have to remember that we can't take anything for granted, that we need to fight just as hard as we did in 2020 and 2019 and 2018 and 2017 and make them own him. If we can make them own him again, we can win back the House, we can keep the Senate, and we can defeat him.
Yeah.
But he is the face of the Republican Party.
Yeah. Well, the happy clappy side of me says that, Carl, that this is good news for us. Like good. Let them cling to him. Because if you do look at polling in terms of all of us, not just Republican voters, I think it's 60-something% don't want him to run again. So, you think like we're not insane. It's that Republican base that he's doing so well with. And I guess the political strategist in you must think, good, bring the entire party down with you as you've been doing in the last elections.
Yes, but again, it's about what do you do with your opportunity here, right? And so we cannot look at this as a rest on your laurels opportunity. We need to see this as a grab the, I'm going to make a sports metaphor, so everybody get out a pencil and tell me how incorrectly stated it. But we need to take this football and run it down the court.
Sports! Sure, yeah.
Just stuck with field. Stuck with field. Don't go with court.
Yeah.
As far as we can down the field.
Yes.
Until we get to a touchdown.
That works.
Sure. Or unless we get
that works.
Charged for icing. Is that a thing?
That was great, Carl.
That's good, Carl. But seriously, quite seriously, how would you, as a political strategist in 2024, this is your old job, how would you do that in a completely fact-free world like we live in last night, where there does not appear to be objective reality or facts? I mean,
you accept that your goal in this is not winning over those people, period.
Right.
It's not. Your goal is to turn out the Democratic base, and there's no greater motivator for turning out the Democratic base than Donald Trump, and to win over moderates and independents. And I think the exhaustion factor with Trump does a good job of that. But we need to remind people of the chaos of Donald Trump being our president.